Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working in a new sketchbook. The vintage seashells felt really appropriate for MerMay, which is going on over on Instagram right now. And yes, today I will be drawing a mermaid. I have these Graphitint pencils I'll be using today. They're a graphite pencil with tints of color in them, and I wanted to play around with that. Sometimes working with black and white, you just kind of want a little variety. I really love this part of the sketch. I love the direction it is going. I gave her flowy hair and of course special mermaid ears. It was really fun thinking of the accessories for her hair. Have you worked in Graphitint pencil before? They're made by Derwent. I've used them a long time ago, probably about 10 years ago. This is where we get to the part of the sketch where I was just like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Couldn't really decide what my specific issue was, and I was able to kind of course correct. I was like, okay, pull it back. And I like where I got her eyes here. I like where I got her face here. Faber Castell pencils. I really liked how the sketch was turning out here. I'm working on a Stonehenge paper. This paper was specifically cut for the vintage sketchbook, and it really honestly is meant for pencil. But the pencils I was working with, I felt like would have done better on a watercolor paper, surprisingly. It can get Graphitint pencils wet. They have the watercolor marking on the side. But with this paper, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get her wet or not. This is where I move into the next scary step. I did not like how this was turning out. I did not like how the Graphitint was coming out onto the paper. It just wasn't the same as the other pencils I was working with. So switching back and forth between the two pencils gave me very different feels, and it was hard to grasp exactly how much pressure I needed. I used my electric erasers a lot. I was trying to get some dimension back to that side of the face that I lost, and I felt like I pulled her back. It was going okay. You know when you should probably call it quits on an art piece? Well, I probably hit that block several times with her. I was so stubborn to push through though. After all, she's going to be in a sketchbook that I'm going to be saving. I didn't want to leave her unfinished. I was like, okay, just do your best, finish her out, just keep doing your best. You saw there I broke the pencil lead. That happened a lot. I had to push really hard for the pencil lead to become richer within this paper, and it just was not layering well. So I broke a lot of leads while making this. It taught me maybe Graphitint isn't made for this, and I will just stick to black and white. Well, how are you doing this May? Are you participating in MerMay this month? I know Tom Bancroft is leading it over on Instagram. He has all the hashtags and all of the MerMay prompts. I always want to follow along, but I find my May is really busy. It's the month before summer starts for the kids, and there always seems to be a ton of things to wrap up. Maybe someday I'll participate. But we have Teacher Appreciation Week and SOLs, and there's Mother's Day. So it just seems like a lot going on to try to fit in drawing every day and posting every day. I want to get into that. That is a goal. But this year, with getting used to YouTube, starting my shop, having the Tears for Ukraine prints going on, and just everything with that fundraiser, just feels like heavy for me, and I don't know, I just kind of needed to not have that pressure every day. I hope that once I get a feel for video creation and keeping up with YouTube, that then everything else will fall into place. YouTube is still very new to me, and the video editing process has been somewhat of a challenge as I've gotten used to it over the past months. I think audio has probably actually been the trickiest part, as well as storage. Those things can be huge files, and it's a lot to figure out, and you're probably sick of me rambling, so we're gonna go back to the drawing now. I'm working on the leaves. This was the fun part of working with Graphitint, is adding those pops of color. I added the blue speckles and the blue accents in there. I felt like even with her face and the pops of color, I hit another wall of just not being thrilled. It all felt very muddy to me, very gray, very dulled down. And I think this is something I'm really gonna have to practice with, and who knows, maybe that's what this sketchbook is for. Maybe this sketchbook I practice with the Graphitint and I keep going. Part of me feels like maybe I should just call it quits and call this a black and white sketchbook. As you can tell, the black did very well on this paper. The black pencils I used from Faber Castell, they did a great job. I love her hair, I love the ears, and even the little accents, the lips, it was okay. I felt like I should have stopped there, and then suddenly, I guess because I was constantly in this I've got to fix it mode, I just kept going. And I think at one point I didn't really like the way the eyes felt. The eyes felt off to me. There was a lot that felt off with this one, and maybe it's just because I've been focused on business so much that I haven't been having a daily sketching practice. Maybe it was the Graphitint that threw me off. I wasn't sure. It definitely was not feeling like I was on my game with this one. It was fun nonetheless. I got a sketch in. also filmed all of this on my phone. I'm really proud of that. I like how it turned out and how simple and clean. I found a good camera angle, and I didn't worry about keeping an eye on too many cameras this time, and that worked for me. Having the film on my phone, editing on my phone, I am recording my audio to my phone. All of it seems like it's going smoother. I'm pretty excited about that. It's some progress. And while I'm working on this one, I have another video that I'm editing on my iPad. So between the two, I feel like I'm finding a flow to keep multiple videos in the editing phase at the same time. And that seems to be working, and you know, hopefully that means more art videos to come. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please comment, like, subscribe. Your support means the world to me right now as a new YouTuber starting out my channel. I really appreciate you watching. Type the word Graphitint if you made it to the end of this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.